Hi, I'm Lisa, and this is Earth. As I often do, I am taking a hike in nature to think some things out, get some clarity. I highly recommend it.
Waking up, it's gone. It leaves us feeling cold again. Picking up the stones our hands were made to feel. And moments like these, they show us what we've got when we ain't got a thing. We've got us. We've got us. We've got us. We've got us.
I've been thinking about the things that I'm going to need. Transitioning from an apartment into an RV is going to be pretty different, I'm sure, from everything I've seen and heard from people on YouTube and in the Facebook groups. It's a pretty big learning curve to switch over. It's not camping. I keep seeing amazing deals on some things that would be really, really useful and helpful. And then I have to stop myself because I don't know what kind of RV I'm going to get. I don't know what's going to come with it, perhaps. So that's been tough. So when I see a deal, I want to jump on it. Because of limited funds, what I'm focused on is needs versus wants. The wants can wait. The needs are now. And I've come up with something of a list of needs, things that I think I'll need, and I would absolutely appreciate you throwing things in the comments that I may have missed.
Still we've got.
That's better and warmer. Found a little sunny spot. Some of the things that I know I will need initially moving into an RV park for a couple of weeks. The first thing is a surge protector. From what I understand, it's the Wild West out there with power pedestals in RV parks. So the last thing I want to do is blow out my electrical because an RV park had a short or some kind of issue with the power pedestal. I want to avoid the whole black tank debacle and start out with a composting toilet initially. From what I understand, it's going to be a lot more my style than dealing with black tank issues. I've seen several YouTube videos where people have removed their toilets and their black tanks from their RVs and replaced it with a composting system. Not one of them regrets it, as far as I can tell. I might just go ahead and build one. There is a tutorial from a YouTube channel called Girl in the Woods, where she makes a really nice composting toilet that separates the goods and everything. It's really pretty great. Doesn't look that hard either. I need to get a ball hitch for my truck. My Expedition just has the little square receptacle where a ball hitch would go. So that's going to be pretty important. In order to have reliable internet wherever I end up, I believe I'm going to need to get Starlink. From what I understand, there isn't a reliable alternative. If you know of one, hook me up. I'm going to need a way to make sure that my rig is level. So I'll need some levelers or chocks. Seen some pretty interesting stuff online. There are a lot of gadgets and apps out there for leveling your RV. I'm not sure which would be best for my situation. If you have suggestions, I'd love to hear them. There's a good chance I'm going to need a sewer hose in case I don't get that composting toilet situation locked in. I've looked at a few, and I definitely don't want to skimp in this area. I'm going to need a freshwater hose made with food-grade materials that aren't going to leach into the water itself. Again, there are tons of possibilities for water hoses, as well as an inline filter and pressure regulator. Of course, there are lots of options for filters and regulators as well. I feel like I would want a regulator that has an actual gauge. What do you think? Once again, those RV parks can have mad pressure that will wreck the water systems in an RV. I think I need to research tank treatments as well to keep, even if I don't have a black tank, I want to keep a gray tank working properly, as well as the indicators that show how full your tank is. I'm also going to need some kind of skirting because it will be February. I really like the new air skirts out on the market, but I don't like their price. Some of these look a little more reasonable to me. I've seen some amazing deals on felt skirting that I may just get for now. I have a tire inflator, jump starter, first aid kit, a few of those things that I would generally keep in my car anyway. I've got all that handled. And I have a small toolkit with the basics. In the event that I don't get land and might end up boondocking off-grid, I will need a full solar system set up. I need to do a lot of research in this area. I've started it, and with ADHD, it's very hard to research something that is not very interesting. If something interests me, I will research it to the exclusion of all else. I won't eat, I won't sleep, or I'll be mad if I have to. But electrical systems isn't one of those. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to force myself to learn as much as I can about that. On the upside, I have not one but two lithium phosphate battery companies who have reached out to me and asked to partner in exchange for giving me one of their batteries. That's huge. That's a huge expense. The prices are coming down, but not fast enough for me. I will also need a generator slash inverter, preferably one that's dual fuel as a backup power system. I believe 4,000 watts is sufficient to be able to run all the systems in your RV as if you were on city power. When I'm ready to move onto the land that I don't have yet, I will need a water storage system, likely a 300-gallon IBC tote. If I'm able to put it up on something and have it gravity feed straight to my freshwater tank, awesome. I'll also need another tank for transferring. About a 100-gallon tank, I think, would be fine to put in the back of my car and transfer water from wherever I'm getting it into the storage container on the property. It's a start. The things I think I'll need right away are pallets to put things on and a tarp to cover them. I will need some T-posts and wire fencing to make an enclosure for composting. I'll need power tools, garden tools, and eventually a shed to put them in. I'll need to get some fencing up, at least a gate to start with. And I'll need to get some security measures in place, some cameras, some signage, some equalizers, and a dog. Eventually, I'll get a dog. I've hiked this trail many times. This is to Travertine Falls, which is on the other side of the mountain from Albuquerque. I've never seen the falls actually falling. There's a teeny tiny little tributary that is never running when I've been here. I thought it might be today because we've had recent snow and then a few days of very warm weather. But no, 'twas not to be.
There's a man around the corner, he's been asking me for change, and I could use some. Think I could use some sometimes. All these things slow me down, like the concrete that's been sticking to the bottom of my shoes. Soles worn and tired have started wearing through. I can feel them heavier now. pocket, it reminds me of the ways I am hungry and always running for an open door. But on the highway, heavy-hearted, humming just to hear a sound. Loneliness, it lingers through unfamiliar towns, all of them stunning, and none of them home. And I don't know if I live like this for peace of mind. Can't say if I do it for the foolish pride, or maybe it's all just to prove that I'm alive.
Somehow I keep stumbling onto these makeshift huts on my walks in the wilderness. I just find it so creative that someone took the time to do this. There doesn't seem to be evidence of someone living in it, just enjoying the adventure of making it. I feel like I should dispel some myths about me that I've seen people make assumptions in the comments, which is pretty funny, actually. I've been underestimated my whole life, so will it be hard? 100%. Am I up for it? You bet. I'm a pretty good marksman, and I'm a second-degree black belt. I've lived in near off-grid setups before. I've lived where a wood stove was my only heat, and I kept a fire going for 4 months straight. I can do survival just fine. I grew up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, California. We would be without power for weeks sometimes. And honestly, other than having to refill the generator, I kind of preferred it because it stopped the hum of all the electronics. Very peaceful. Very familiar with wildlife. I have opened my door and found a bear on the doorstep twice. If money was no object, I believe I would move on to the Earthship biotecture property near Taos and build an Earthship. That would be my dream. I've been out there a few times, and I've stayed in Earthships for a week or two at a time. The grounding feeling is unmatched. I love it. I've been focused on acceptance lately, accepting what comes, having faith that there's a really good chance that that thing didn't work out because something better was around the corner. You can either row that boat as hard as you can upstream towards your goal, or you can turn the boat the other way and let the stream carry you, avoiding rocks wherever possible along the way, but allowing what is to be. Allowing ties into the being present that I've spoken about in prior videos. I'm not thrilled about being in this financial situation that I'm in. I'm not thrilled about where our country is right now. I lost a few viewers. I don't intend for my channel to dwell on politics or negatives, but I'm a highly empathetic person, and I'm likely to make occasional mention of the harms impacting so many in the US currently. If you're someone who's on board with leadership, this may not be the channel for you, and I wish you well on your way. Sincerely. For those of you who would like to support the channel, I have channel memberships available. You can hit the join button below this video. And I've also set up a Patreon. The link for the Patreon is in the description below. To all of those who have signed up, thank you. A huge, sincere thank you. I might as well call it my anxiety fund because every time someone does join up, I lose a little more anxiety. Knowing that people have cared enough to support me in this way lends courage. Thanks for coming along on the walk and talk on my head clearing video. I appreciate each of you. and I'll see you soon.
Yes. His eyes looking fast.